Hi, Kim Coco here, founder of Swagtail and the Flexible Golfer program. Today's chair yoga class is going to work our way around the hips as well as build some mobility in the spine and some mobility in the shoulders. This is a great all-around 30-minute class if you're a golfer to warm up or use as a cross-training tool. And if you're just looking for a way to have more vibrant well-being in your whole body, this is the class for you. No props are needed other than a nice firm chair, and I prefer you to have some kind of yoga mat or sticky surface underneath you so you don't slide around when you're moving. And ideally, as we start to come to sit, you want to be able to not slouch back, but to have a sense where you can tip the pelvis forward and back, but start with a neutral spine in a way that you're engaging your core to sit upright and utilizing the body to move. So take a moment, get yourself set up, maybe wiggle around once you get to your seat so you can find a way for the spine to be tall, and then lightly close your eyes as the hands rest on your lap comfortably. And as you close down the eyes and start to turn your attention inward from your external environment into what's going on inside of the body and inside of your mind, start by placing your focus first on your breathing patterns. Notice how you're breathing in and how you're breathing out. Ideally moving that breath in and out through the nose as we move through this entire practice together. And as this breath comes in and out through the nose, can you feel the soles of your feet firmly planted on the ground? The sitting bones providing a base of support for you to sit. The spine elongating up out of the pelvis. Even the shoulders moving down away from the ears. Resting the fingers, the palms, the jaw, the throat. Even imagining the skin on your forehead softening some, so that there's this perfect balance of the body engaged to stay upright here, to breathe consciously here, and to allow a sense of ease to infiltrate your movements. We'll tap into this sense of ease to create more balance in every cell of the body and to create some focus for the mind. So on your next inhale, fill up deeply, send all the breath in through the nose, fill up the lungs. Maybe take a momentary pause at the top of that breath in. Exhale the breath all the way back out. So we'll do that 2 more times, inhaling through the nose, filling up deeply. Exhaling completely as well. One more time, fill up. And as you fill up, imagine how you'd like to be different when you're done with your practice today. As you exhale, let go of how that's going to take root or take shape in your life, in your body or in your mind. Keep breathing in and out through the nose, and you can lightly open your gaze if you like, or you can keep your eyes closed. All we're going to do to start is just move the wrist around in some circles. You can take it one direction and then the other. You can move simultaneously, or you can move your wrists in opposite directions. Just starting to create some gentle movements in the joints. Maybe even work out the fingers, wave them around. Maybe even shake out the wrists if that feels good. And then as the hands come to rest back on your thighs, go ahead and take your right ankle, move it around in some circles. Maybe point and flex the foot. Just make sure you move the right ankle in as many directions as possible before you place it on the ground and switch sides. So literally just lubricating the joints as we start to move today. I know in golf, your feet create this downward pressure to help stabilize your body for the swing and activate it, and give you base of support as you move throughout your day. As you're done with the second side, go ahead and place the feet down, and notice the feet are hip distance apart, all 10 toes pointing forward. Take your hands all the way out to your knees. Keep the arms straight, but the elbows are soft, not locked. And then tuck the chin, press the shoulder blades apart as you round the spine and tuck your chin as though you are pressing the back of your spine toward the chair back behind you, known as a cat pose. And then inhale, start to tilt your pelvis forward, draw your spine forward, lift the heart through the arms, and maybe even draw the arms back and elbows in by the side as you start to look up and take a gentle back bend. In tabletop position, this would be cow pose. So we're going to move with your breath. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, tuck the pelvis, round the low back, mid back, upper back, and shin last as you stretch your arms out to your knees. And then inhale, rock the pelvis forward. Take a gentle back bend, lift the heart. Maybe take the elbows in by the side, bending them as you look up. Exhaling, tuck and round. So just moving with your breath. Inhaling forward, gentle back bend. Exhale, tuck and round. One more time. Keeping the elbows hugging in, squeeze the shoulder blades back in together as you back bend. Exhaling, tucking and rounding. This time as you come back to center, come back to that neutral spine you started with, and then go ahead and hug the right knee into your chest. And so again, you might take a couple more movements of the ankles. We're just using this to create some space in the low back. And you might even move the knee around in some circles here. So you're really lubricating the hip joint now as the femur rests in the hip socket, switching directions. And you can do this without holding onto the leg as well if you want to hold onto your chair and just make the circles even bigger. Make sure you go in both directions with those hip circles on the right side. And then come back and place the right foot on the floor where it was previously. And then hug the left knee into your chest. Again, notice what it's like here. Can you still sit up nice and tall as you draw the knee in toward the torso? A little or a lot. And then start to make hip circles on the second side. Really just creating some lubrication of the joints, creating some space, some possibility, some heat. Notice the difference between sides. Make sure you go in both directions. And then come back to center, both feet on the ground. So like I said, we're going to move around the hips. So start with the right side. Walk the right foot off to the right side of your chair and turn the toes out 90 degrees. So this nice wide stance, and you might have to sit forward on your chair to do this. But inhale, sit tall, and as you exhale, start to twist a little bit over to the left, and you can use your right hand as a little bit of leverage to take this nice open twist. Just for a moment to elongate the spine, sitting up tall. And then you can keep your right hand on your right thigh or right knee. Take your inhale, reach the left arm up. And as you exhale, stretch the left arm up and over to the right. And maybe the right elbow starts to sink down. Press your feet lightly into the floor and your seat or your sitting bones into your chair so they are really lengthening and elongating the spine. So maybe even imagine the sides of your torso getting longer here as you take another round of breath. Take one more for good measure, slowly in and slowly back out through the nose. Inhale, coming back to center, reaching up with the left arm. Exhale, release it back down. Bring the right foot back in. You might already notice a difference between sides. When you're ready, we're going to take that left foot over. Left toes point out 90 degrees. And then press down through both feet as the knees point away from each other and just lightly start to twist over to the right. So it's less about the twist, but more about opening up the spine and then creating length in both sides of the body. So as we lengthen into a lateral bend, you can keep that length. So on your next inhale, reach the right arm up. Left hand is on the left thigh. As you exhale, take this right arm up and over to the left and use your left arm for support. Maybe the left elbow comes down onto the thigh, but maybe not. And look out in front of you, or maybe even off to the right slightly, lengthening the right and left sides of the torso as you reach up and over. Take 2 more deep cycles of breath here, in and out through the nose. Softening the jaw and the throat and the eyes as you're here. On your next inhale, come back up with the right arm. Exhale, release it down. Walk the left foot back, parallel to the right, hip distance apart. So we're creating this length, and now we'll add in the shoulder blades. So as you inhale, take your elbows out to the sides. Your arms are in a cactus position. And now imagine you are going to squeeze your shoulder blades together or move your elbows back in space. You might notice the heart wants to lift. Maybe your gaze wants to gently lift, similar to the back bend we just took minutes ago. So press down with the feet and the sitting bones to lift the heart and squeeze the arms back in space. And then as you exhale, maybe even round the spine slightly as you take your right elbow over your left and give yourself a hug. Maybe even tuck the chin. So you're creating space between the shoulder blades here. As you inhale, open the arms up, cactus arms. Maybe take a gentle back bend, maybe lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, take a left elbow over right. Round the spine, create space between the shoulder blades. Moving with the breath. Inhale, lift, lengthen, squeeze. Open the heart. Exhale, right elbow over left, and you can stay right elbow hugging, or you can take forearms toward one another. Inhaling, reaching up. Cactus arms. Exhale, tuck and round, left elbow over right. Maybe forearms toward one another. Slowing down the breath. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, right elbow over left. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, left over right. One more each side. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, open up. Squeeze the back of the shoulder blades, strengthening there. Exhale, left elbow over right. Round and stretch out the space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, back to cactus arms. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands back down to your lap and maybe wiggle around the spine. Noticing any changes here, right? Just after a little bit of movement. And then as you come back to that same tall neutral spine, we'll now add in a horse stance with both legs out to the side. So we're going to ideally sit as comfortable as you can in your chair and turn the knees out in the same direction as the toes. They likely won't be the 90 degrees we just started with. But take your hands to your thighs and allow the fingertips to point in so you can actually use the leverage here on your legs. So we'll start with some just gentle torso circles. So just start to move your spine around in space. Just kind of some barrel rolls here, allowing the hips to open as you move the spine. And these circles can be big or small. There's no right or wrong here. Just make sure you go in both directions. Make sure you're still breathing. And you can feel your sitting bones grounded on the chair. So you have a nice stable base of support from which to move. And then as you inhale, come back to the center. Once again here, we're going to twist a little bit over to the left and keep both feet anchoring down. Keep your left sitting bone anchoring down. Take your right arm out to the right and inhale, reach the left arm up. And take your exhale one more time. We're going to reach up and over. So this nice lateral bend, but notice how now the left leg is in a different position. The hip is open, and you might change the stretch in the torso as a result. So take another deep breath in and a deep breath out, softening the left shoulder away from the ear. And then on your inhale, reach up with the left arm, and exhale, release it down to the left thigh. Take your inhale, slightly twist and lengthen the spine as you look over to the right. And then exhale, feel that length in both sides of the body. Take your next inhale to reach the right arm up. And then as you exhale, stretch that right arm up and over to the left. Noticing the right foot anchoring down, the right sitting bone anchoring down. And notice how the left side of the body wants to collapse. Can you lengthen it as you reach up and over to your left? Take another deep cycle of breath here, or two. Slowing down your rhythm of breath so you're in control. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, release the right arm down. Go ahead and walk your feet back together. Maybe shake out the legs, maybe move the hips around for a moment. You notice that just using the legs in that position creates more stability and a little more challenge. So we're going to come more to a tree pose now to open up the hips. So keep the left foot grounded. You might even walk the feet closer together first. Come onto the ball mound of the right foot and then open up the leg out to the side. So you can just stay with the right leg externally rotating, or you can take a variation on tree pose and take it to the side of your chair. So it's just going to make it a little more intense. The point here is to press down through the left foot, anchor down through the ball mound of the right foot, and start to sit tall. You notice your leg on the right has to engage to stay open. That's a good thing. So we're going to breathe here. Inhale, reach the arms up. And you can stay with the arms up if you'd like, or take cactus arms like we did a moment ago. Open up the heart. Maybe lift your gaze. Notice if you're still breathing deeply. And can you draw the belly button in lightly toward the spine to support your low back? Take another deep breath in here. Exhale it out through the nose. Take your next inhale, reach the arms back up. And exhale, hands down by your side. Return the right leg next to the left, and then just close your eyes and pause for a moment. Notice the difference between sides. Notice the sensations under the skin. Notice the changes in your breathing patterns. The part of the inhale and the part of the exhale as the breath comes in and out through the nose. And then as you're aware of the sensations of your feet touching the ground beneath you, blink your eyes open. Walk your feet together first with the right foot solidly planted down. Now come to the ball mound of the left foot and externally rotate. So turn the left knee off to the left. You might even walk that left foot off to the left side of your mat slightly, as if you're going to use the leg of the chair to give you some support. So you're externally rotating on this left side. Take your breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, keep them here, or take cactus arms. So really using the strength of the outer hips to help open the inner groin. And especially if you're a golfer, this hip stability is essential to give you a stable swing. Helps you rotate the spine. And really, as you move in everyday life, you need that stability to just have a walking gait or a running gait, just to move in a more seamless way. So feel the spine tall. The breath as even as possible here. Take your next breath in to reach the arms up. Exhale, hands by your side. Walk the left foot in. Pause for a moment. So we're going to take this pose one more time. So notice here before we take it and the eyes are closed, can you imagine the strength in your hips to open? Can you tap into the strength of all the core muscles around the spine that keep you upright here? And notice where you can soften. The shoulders, the jaw, the eyes, the throat, the fingers. Can something be let off the hook to make this posture just a bit easier? So when you're ready, blink your eyes open. We're going to keep the left foot on the ground and then come to the ball mound of the right foot. Right knee points out to the side, or right foot comes out to the side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, and then stay here with the arms up, or take cactus arms. Wherever you're at, see if you can drop the shoulder blades down away from the ears. Maybe lift your gaze and take 2 really deep cycles of breath. And then notice here that this right knee is pointing out to the side actively, and the feet are a nice base of support to lift up from. Sitting bones are grounded so you can reach up with the spine. And then use your inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, hands back to your lap. Switching right to the second side this time. Right foot comes to the floor. Left ball mount to the floor, either turning the knee out to the side with the foot in the center, or take the foot a little wider into a modified tree pose. Notice if you're rocking the pelvis forward, come to a neutral position first, and then use your breath in to lift up. And your exhale to cactus the arms. You can also stretch the arms straight out to the side if that feels better. A couple different options with your arm positions. So actively participate here with your focus, a little deeper on the breath. Alive, vibrant, the cells of the body. Taking your next in-breath to come up with the arms. Exhale, release back down. Both feet come to the floor one more time, about hip distance apart. And then inhale, lengthen your spine, look up. Maybe take a gentle back bend like we did earlier. And then exhale, we're going to tuck and round the low back and start to either have your hands on your knees and tuck and round the spine in our nice cat pose we did earlier. Maybe you can let your elbows rest on your thighs and come into a modified forward fold. This might be the place you want to stay if you have high blood pressure. If you're comfortable going further still and it's okay on your low back and your heart, maybe you start to slowly fold your whole torso over your thighs, taking more of an inversion, letting your head and neck rest no matter where you are. So we use this as our resting pose to check in with the effects in the body thus far. Using your mental focus to connect and be aware of the space between the shoulder blades. Imagine that skin softening. Observe a spaciousness in the low back, the top of the pelvis, the back of the glutes, back of the thighs. And you might even notice that you can be aware of the breath coming in and out, creating pressure on the back side of the lungs. Taking a few more cycles here, in and out through the nose. Again, where can you find a bit more ease? And start to memorize that in the cellular tissue so that your body can come back to homeostasis, and you can trust that can happen without your needing to be a conscious facilitator of that balance. All you need to do is focus on your breath, be present in the moment. Start to help turn on this parasympathetic nervous system. Start to notice your feet pressing lightly into the floor. Start to roll up one vertebrae at a time from wherever you are. Nice and slow. Making your way all the way back to sit upright. Pausing for a moment as you get there. And then blink your eyes open if they're not already. Feet hip distance apart, cross the right ankle over the left. If this is too challenging, you can take a block and place your right foot on a block and start to externally rotate the thigh here. But imagine this figure 4 shape, and you can stay right here sitting upright, Or if you can keep your spine tall, slowly as you exhale, start to hinge a little forward until you feel a stretch in the outer right hip. Flex the right foot to protect the right knee, and keep the left foot pressing lightly into the ground so the left knee stays directly over the left ankle. And take a couple cycles of breath here. Maybe even roll the shoulders back and down. If you have any remaining tension in the upper body. Finding a stretch that's on the surface. It doesn't have to be an extreme stretch. It's just 60 to 70% stretch on this outer right hip. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. Elongating the tissue that had to work to open up the inner thighs. As you inhale next, come back through the center. And this time take your right knee directly over the left into a more tight cross of the legs. Take your inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, take the right hand beside you, either to the side of your chair or to the back of your chair. And then use the left hand on the right knee to inhale, sit taller. And maybe use the left hand to start to twist over to your right. So now the right shoulder blade will move closer to the spine. And the left arm and the left shoulder blade, you can use that strength on the left side of the body to help you twist a little bit deeper. Ideally, your sitting bones are still level on your chair, and the spine is nice and tall in a vertical position. And you're starting to rotate around the thoracic spine, around the mid-back and upper back, between the shoulder blades. And your head and neck can be in any comfortable position for you. Chin parallel to the floor, and take a deeper round of breath or 2 here, which might be a little more challenging in this twisted position, but be okay with that. Life is full of awkward moments that you can learn to breathe right through. Keep hugging the knees toward one another, toward the midline, to give you a base of support from which to twist, so engaging those inner thigh muscles that you stretched out earlier. And then as you inhale, reach both arms up this time. And exhale, release them by your side, uncross your legs. Take your feet hip distance apart. We'll go right to the second side, so take a figure 4. Just above the left ankle will sit on the right thigh, or this foot will rest on a block on the floor. Now take a moment, lift the spine, lengthen, flex this left foot lightly, and stay upright if you already feel a stretch in the outer left hip. Or you can start to hinge and fold a little forward until you find that 60 or 70% stretch. Just a nice tug or a low, dull sensation on the outer left hip. You never want to move into pain. And then notice, are you holding on with the shoulders or anywhere else in the body to help make the stretch possible? And then can you breathe just a bit more deeply, anchoring down with the right foot, right knee points forward, and shoulders down the back, and eyes focused either out in front of you or some point on the floor. Take a few more cycles of breath in and out through the nose. On your next inhale, start to press the floor away with the right foot. And inhale, come upright with your torso, across the left knee over the right, and then hug in toward the midline with your legs. Take your breath in, reach the left arm up, and circle it around and back, holding onto the chair anywhere you can. Right hand to left knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine, sit taller. And then as you exhale, start to twist over to the left. So again, noticing here, can you sit taller as you breathe in? And as you exhale, maybe the left shoulder blade can move closer to the spine. You can imagine your heart turning to the left while the hips still point forward. Keep hugging in with the legs toward the midline. Hips, your base of support, so the spine can rotate, which really is exactly what happens in your golf swing. Well, nice stable hips to create a smooth, steady backswing, strengthening the muscles in the outer hips to help generate a powerful downswing. And then mobility in the spine and shoulder blades to give you the ability to have coordinated movement in the swing and in the rest of your life. Take one more deep cycle of breath here. On your next breath in, take the arms up. Inhale, back through center, reach up. Exhale, release the hands back down. Maybe shake out the legs, shake out the shoulders. Maybe take a couple spinal rolls or moving out the hips, whatever's going to seem the best for your body right now. Everybody's different and every day is different. You might want to roll out the ankles, hips, spine, whatever it's going to take. Until you come back to that nice, even position where the soles of the feet are on the ground. You might even move from the right sitting bone to the left sitting bone. You might even tilt the pelvis forward or tilt the pelvis back. As we come back to a nice level rim of the pelvis. Maybe move the spine side to side or around. Shoulder blades down the back. Eyes lightly closed as the hands rest comfortably, palms facing down. So using this practice and this time here at the end to seal in the changes you've made. Palms facing down to stay grounded, present, and aware. So that you can focus on the sensations at the bottom of the feet, giving you that stronger connection to the floor beneath you. That sense of magnetism at the base of the sitting bones, resting into your chair firmly. And even aware of the sensations underneath the palms of your hands, the knuckles, the fingertips. Aware of the temperature and textures on the surface of your hands as they rest palms down. From this sense of stability, take a deep breath in, fill up through the nose as deeply as you can. Maybe even shrug the shoulders up to the ears. The spine gets taller, everything gets taller. As you exhale, take the shoulders down away from the ears and breathe all the way back out. You can do two more just like that, taking the shoulders up toward the ears if you'd like. Exhale, release, down. The whole lower half of the body is grounded. Inhale, you get taller, breath fills up deeply. Exhale, release. So that as you breathe entirely effortlessly here, in through the nose and out through the nose, just at the body's natural rhythm, you can find this balance of stability and lightness, effort and ease. A nice balance of traits that allows you to move fluidly and confidently in any action you take in life. Take this next minute here to observe that natural rhythm of breath or any sensations that you notice in the body as a result of your practice today. Notice how you might be different already in body or mind from your movement, from your attention, from your willingness to show up and do your best. Notice how your mind might wander into the next segment of your day. And can you bring it back momentarily by taking a deeper breath in, filling up all around the lungs, exhaling all of the breath back out. Aware that you're moving into whatever's next in your day with more mindfulness, with a greater sense of awareness. And as you lightly bring to your hands to your heart center and maybe bow your gaze, notice that you are a different person on a cellular level than when you sat down 30 minutes ago. Maybe allow your lips to curl up into a smile, for the changes you have made here last long after you leave your yoga mat. Thank yourself for carving out this time for you, and I thank you for sharing your time with me today as well. Namaste.